There's the first cast of the trip. Today you join me at a very special lake. It's a lake that actually introduced me to carp fishing all those years ago when I was a young lad. I still make the effort to come every maybe once or twice a season just to keep my eye in. The fish in here aren't massive. You're talking fish averaging 3 to 5 pounds, and you might be lucky if you catch one that's 7 or 8 pounds, but it's a good lake to come and have a good day's sport. You're probably going to catch a carp when you come here. There's a lot of them in here. It's just a case of finding them and just moving up and down the bank and hopefully stumbling on that shoulder fish. But I'm here today. The conditions are pretty good. I mean, it's unfortunately a northeasterly wind, but it is nice and cool today, and there are fish moving about, bubbling. We've had a walk up and down the margin and seen quite a lot of fish activity, so I think we might have a good day. I've got the one rod out for now. I'm going to get the second one rigged up, and hopefully we'll catch ourselves a few carp today. That was a good take. Well, first proper hookup of the day. Didn't have to wait long. Second rod's probably been out best part of 5 minutes, and then the first rod has ripped off. Only a little baby common. That's about the average stamp in this lake, to be honest. You might surprise yourself with a 6 or a 7 pounder, but they definitely give a good scrap for the size of fish in here. There we go. Well, that didn't take long. I've literally got one in the net there. Literally just unhooked him. I was about to get him out to have a photo, and the rod that I've literally just cast back out is gone again. I think we might struggle to keep 2 rods in the water at this rate. We're gonna have 2 fish in the net by the looks of this. But what about that? Oh, just pulled out. Well, first fish of the trip, well, the first landed fish of the trip. Almost had a double take as well, but the rod absolutely hooked round and the clutch was spinning, and we were into this lovely little lively common carp. You know, probably a couple of pounds, but it gives you great sport, good action. It's probably a little bit less than average for this sort of lake, but you know, I've come here to get a few bites and hopefully bag quite a few carp today, and that's a good start as any. So hopefully let's get it back, see if we can get enough one. So I've just moved down to the far end of the lake. There wasn't much more fish activity up in the swim that I was fishing. After landing that fish and losing one, I feel like the fish have just pushed out of the area. No doubt they would have come back, but I feel like I could get a bite much quicker somewhere else. So I've come down to the far end. I know it holds a lot of fish down here. It's a really nice bay. There's lots of overhanging trees, lots of snags, and actually as I got in here, there was a few bubbles and I actually spooked a carp in the margin. So I think we've got a quick bite on our hands here. Don't think it's going to be long. I've got one rod out there already under an overhanging tree in my left hand margin. I'm just going to retie enough a rig for my right hand rod, and I think it's not going to be long before we see our first bit of action in this swim. That's all right. I just changed this rig over to the same one I had the bite on earlier. I've just cast it out, and within probably 3 minutes it's just bent round. There's a lot of fish out in this bay just here, so hopefully there's a few more on the cards from this swim. I think he's ready. There we go. Get in. Well, there we go, fish number 2. Quick move after that first fish, and then the swim sort of went flat, didn't see much activity. Had a quick walk down here and saw quite a few fish bubbling up in close. So we've just finished getting the second rod out, and it's absolutely ripped off 2 pieces of fake corn, and we've got enough of fish on the mat. And there's definitely a few more out there as well, so hopefully we can keep the fish coming. Well, there we go, what about that then? A double take. I was just unhooking that one there at the bottom, and then my left hand rod ripped off, and I've managed to land this one a little bit bigger than the other 2 that we've had so far today, but it's just been great sport so far. And I think there's a few more double takes on the cards. There's a lot of fish out there feeding, and I've managed to find bait that works. So we'll slip these 2 back and hopefully get a few more throughout the day. Get in. Well, I was just thinking of moving just to the swim to the right of me, where I've been putting some pellets in, trickling some pellets in under a tree, overhanging tree, for the last sort of 20 minutes. It's been a bit quiet for the last 10 minutes in my swim, but just as I was about to approach the rod to bring it in, I've just seen some little pinprick bubbles. I'm getting a lot of line bites now, so there's definitely fish have moved back into the area. Probably moved off after that disturbance with that double take earlier, but it's looking good. There might be a bite still yet to come in this swim. I think I'm just going to sit on my hands a minute, maybe for the next 5 or 10 minutes, see how it goes, and then it's looking like there could be a bite. Fish on! Well, I was just about to say to the camera that it's gone a little bit quiet, but my left hand rod is absolutely melted off. I just seen a few pinprick bubbles about 10 minutes ago, and a few line bites, and I thought the opportunity had gone. That was about a couple of minutes ago, but lo and behold, it's ripped off, and we're into another little hard fighting common. So let's get it in the net and have a look at her. Lovely jubbly. Well, in the last couple of minutes it's absolutely kicked off. I was just about to do a piece of the camera before that first fish, saying that it's gone quiet, and then my left hand rod's just ripped off. I've just got that one in the net. I was just about to unhook it on the mat, and now my right hand rod's just ripped off, and that was just flicked under this tree. So whether the carp have just come on the feed or just come over the spots, come into the area again, I don't know, but it's proven to provide a nice bit of action. Well, what about that then? Double take number 2. I was just about to do a piece to camera to say how quiet it had gone, and then my left hand rod ripped off, and then out of the blue my right hand ripped off as I was unhooking that one. So great sport. Let's slip them back, see if we can get enough of one. I think there's a few more on the cards. In terms of the setup that I'm actually using today, I've got the Crosscast EXT rod in 3-pound test curve, and I've paired that up with the Dial Whisker SS 2600. The reason that I'm using this setup is nice and lightweight, it's easy to transport, packs down really nicely. On a venue like this, it's a good 10-minute walk to the actual lake from the car park, and also when I'm there it's very much mobile fishing, and you've got a lot of overhanging trees as well, so you want to keep it something that's nice and short, something really easy to manoeuvre in between those trees and not going to be impeded by overhanging trees. Just a perfect setup for this type of lake. mint. Couldn't get the clutch done up tight enough. I was wondering what was going on there. I just felt it tightening up, and every time I slacken out a bit of line, it tightened up again, and then next thing I know, it just screams off. I was trying to do the clutch up. Just moved from the last swim, just to the swim to the right of that, where I've been baiting up with some pellets and corn. Literally, I was just putting the rod, just cast the rod in, and I was just sorting out the clutch. And then all of a sudden, absolutely ripped out while the rod was still in my hands. So here's the rig that I'm using today. Simplicity in itself, and it's going back to basics. Got a size 10 wide gape hook. Pretty much a blowback rig. I've got a bit of silicone tubing trapping the hair in place, giving that blowback effect. And then I've got 2 grains of fake sweet corn there. And then moving up, I've got a lead clip system with a 2-ounce lead. Just keeping it simple. You don't need to use anything fancy on lakes like this. If the fish comes over your bait, 9 times out of 10, you'll end up catching one, especially with the high stocking levels that are in here. So that's the rig I've been using, and so far it's proven to be pretty successful. Definitely quite a few fish under that bush. Well, there we go, fish number 7, and the action is starting to come thick and fast in this swim. Second fish within about probably 5 minutes of being in the swim, if I'm honest. I've just cast that same rod back out under that bush, and within 2 minutes I've just sat down and it's gone away again. And this one is absolutely cracking. Just those fins, they're so red. Don't know if that comes across on the camera, but it's so deep red at the bottom of that tail fin. It's just a beautiful little common carp, perfection in miniature. There it goes. I knew it was going to go, we just had a few line bites on it. And then about 30 seconds later, it's just ripped off. Well, there we go, number 8 of the trip for me, and it's rounded off a very enjoyable trip. I think it's going to be the last one. I think we're going to pack up the kit now and head back to the car. But thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's very much appreciated. And until the next time, I'll catch you later.